And I'm already seeing some good examples that we'll be looking at in just a moment here. I'm also trying to figure out which groups are going to get into our best line of sight first as we move a little further down the valley. So we got a couple different kinds of antelope, and also our first tower of giraffe. Because, yes, tower is actually what you call a group of giraffe. So let me see what we got here first. Now, I'm actually going to start over on the right-hand side here, surprisingly, with one of the animals that's standing right next to us with some Somali wild ass. Now, they are going to look quite a bit like donkeys or zebras, because they are pretty closely related to both of those animals. But these wild ass are, unfortunately, another one of the most endangered animals out here, because the area they live in is very heavily threatened. There might actually be less than 100 adults in the wild. So we're hoping that if that part of Africa can get a little bit safer, we can start reintroducing them back out to where they normally be living. Now, I will call out that other antelope on the left there with the sable antelope. Those dark chocolate brown ones with the long curved horns. But only just a moment to explain what their deal is, because I'm going to keep rolling to get a good look at these giraffe here. Now, with the giraffe being the tallest, they definitely get a lot of special privileges that come with that incredible height of theirs, including being a little bit too big for predators to mess with. Of course, they also get the reach to get way up into the trees to grab the branches and leaves that only they're going to be able to get to. And it's also going to make them the natural lookouts on the savannah as well. That's because they actually have an incredible set of eyes to go with that height, letting them spot movement and predators up to almost 2 miles away out there. So a lot of the others are going to keep a very close eye on those giraffe. And if any of them see something and start running, just about everybody else is probably going to run too. Including the Hemsbok or Gemsbok, who are down there with them. Those bright silver antelope with the really long horns and the really pretty markings all over their body. Now, they are going to be the other one that's going to be very similar to those sable there, as they are both very much built for intimidation. Not just having those giant horns they can protect themselves with, but also the extra markings around their face and body, which are kind of like a war paint for them, to really let the others out there know they'd be very good at defending themselves. They'll definitely fight back if they need to. Now we got 2 more that are right up ahead of us there too, and 2 more very big animals as well. Starting with the Patterson's eland against the fence line there. We're going to be the largest of our antelope, getting up to 2,000 pounds at their full size. So they're definitely one that's not really going to be messed with much, except for maybe by the lions. Now, the other group ahead of them is actually just about the same size and weight with these Cape buffalo. But they're going to be handling things very differently, because they're the one group that regularly fights back against anything that messes with them, including the lions, which they will definitely do when they protect their young ones. They keep tightly wrapped in those big groups. Those buffalo are really good at what they do. In fact, they're actually considered the 2nd deadliest animal in Africa, behind the hippo. So they're going to be doing a really great job keeping the little ones safe. But we're going to do everything we can to make sure they feel nice and comfortable too. Now, I'm going to go quiet for just a minute here as we start up the first part of the hill here, but we'll talk more in just a moment as we get a little further up the hill.
super cute. Look at them looking at us. Their big noses.